got a new update on FBG duck case. Just imagine standing in a line, Dolce Cabana. You finna go spend some money and buy some shit. You standing in the line because it's a pandemic, and somebody pull up in the car, multiple cars, and get to blinking. Blah 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 blah. Another car, blah blah blah. They say Duck and his girl was running. They hiding this shit. They trying to hide this shit behind cars. That's when they say C thing and another man, C murder. Come over there by Duck. Somebody stand over him. Bah, 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 bah. Man, this shit deep. That's the reason why I've been updating this case. Like I say, FBG Duck might be one of the biggest rappers in the drill culture. Tell you the truth, his style then actually got mimicked throughout a lot of people in the culture. That's the reason why we updating this. So many rumors, so many lies. The feds released all kind of paperwork. I'm wondering, why would that get released right now? They letting us know what they're going to use against them. We're going to talk about that. Hit the like button. This video got to go to the top because if you look in the paperwork, not only was it Teasy, it's another suspect on FBG Duck murder case. It wasn't just the old Block 6. It's actually the old Block 7. I'm not sure if people realize that. There have been videos about this, but it kind of went under the water. But it's coming back out now that that paperwork been released. So hit the like button. We got to make sure this gets to the top. At least 3,000 likes. A lot of people get to see it, and it overjumped those videos. It's fake with the rumors and shit like that. Duck. We've been talking about his case. We done broke that shit down step by step. We know everything about that case. Ain't even no need to really give you more of an update. The trial started in early October. I believe Duck trial gonna start in like less than a month and a half. So that news is gonna be big. We all hear the news of Lil Tim beating his murder case. I don't know. I still can't verify that. But it seems like he might have did beat that case. He been out for a long time. We ain't heard no updates, no court dates, no nothing. So I believe that might be true, but I ain't stamping that. But with Duck, we all seen it. 5 people charged with his death. Muwop, C-Thing, Kenny Mack, C-Murder, Los. Then later on, they say Teasy was part of this. But I'm not sure if people realize, when you look at the paperwork that the feds released the first time, it actually says it was another suspect. It was 7 people involved in this. If you include a conspiracy with people who received phone calls and might have knew what happened, that's different. But the feds saying it's 7 people that was involved in Duck getting killed. Not the rumors that King Von dropped money on his head, none of that. If you look at the paperwork, it clearly says it was another suspect. Not saying that he was the person that did it or he did do it, but it was another suspect involved in this case that the police was going to charge. But unfortunately, they didn't get a chance to charge him because he ended up killing himself due to police records. It was a 7th suspect that the police say, the feds say, but he killed himself, so they wasn't able to charge him. You know, people did their homework. Who is this? You know, there's been rumors on the internet that a guy by the name of Zell Munna was involved in this case. I done did videos on that, but I actually talked to people close to Zell Munna that actually told me, even though it says somebody killed themselves, and we all know that Zell Munna committed suicide. I don't know if it was by mistake, accidental, but you know, word is that he lost his life due to suicide. Even though it says that, it doesn't clearly say his name. Okay, so people got to be careful just putting his name in videos. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that is true. Even though, you know, word is that Zell killed himself. He from O Block, them his friends, and the feds say the person that they were gonna charge, he killed himself. So people link that to Zell Munna. I'm not saying it ain't him. I'm not saying it is him. I am saying I get what some people saying. But people don't realize that it was another suspect. The feds say that it was in close on arresting all these guys, but one of the suspects killed himself. I don't know if he killed himself because, you know, the police was coming, if he had mental issues, if it was other problems, or anything like that. So I'm not going to just link, you know, that clearly to why he might have murdered himself, allegedly. But the feds say that it was another person on this shit. Man, this was like an orchestrated Al Capone hit on some real shit. This shit was crazy if people really look at this shit. And I think we all can learn a lesson from this shit. Don't take your ass downtown in them rich ass neighborhoods fucking around with them people neighborhoods. They don't play around like that. Cause you don't give a fuck about your neighborhood don't mean them people don't give a fuck about their neighborhood. Them people came down. I'm talking about, this murders in the hood happen every day. Can't nobody solve them. This shit happened downtown. Everything started breaking pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces together. The feds got all kind of evidence, POD scanners, cameras, surveillance footage. It's gonna be a lot of people testifying. Look for hundreds of people to get up there on that stand to either help those guys or either to come there and testify for ducking them. People want justice. I don't think people realize that this got real deep. This not gonna be like a King Von Lil Tim situation. It's gonna be a little deeper because where it happened at in those rich people communities. People pay $100,000 a month to live in them high-rise buildings. Some people paying $10,000 a month. The lowest you can get be like $5,000 a month. People want to make sure they paying that money to be in them safe-ass neighborhoods, and you ain't coming down there gang banging and shit. They want to know that was some random shit, and that ain't always down there. So they gonna get justice for that. Like I said, we all can learn a lesson from this shit. And the crazy part is, a lot of those guys that the police alleged had something to do with Duck murder were rappers. They had rap careers. Muwar probably would have been huge right now. He was blowing up, dropping videos in the millions and shit. So we got to be careful out here with this shit. But a lot of people don't realize that it was another suspect on that FBG Duck murder case. And, in the paperwork, they're going to bring that up. His name is going to get brought up. We're going to figure out who the person's name is. But the street said it was Zill. I'm not here to stamp that, we're going to stamp when we see the names and shit. That's what we're going to do. Whether people feel like it's that or whatever, we're going to wait till we see the names to stamp it. But according to the paperwork, it was 7 people involved in a conspiracy to orchestrate, a murder for FBG Duck. This crazy as hell, man. Y'all leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I find it wild that it was a lot of people on Duck, man. It took a lot of people to get him down, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, when you look at the paperwork, he was shot, they say 16 times. And when we seen the video footage of Duck on the ground, didn't really want to see it, but it went viral all on the internet. He was still moving and shit. He was strong. He was hard body. He was still fighting for his life. I've seen some people, get hit with one bullet and don't move no more. Duck was hit with several bullets, and you said he seen them moving, and, this shit crazy. You feel me? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. It's the homie Truth.